Bill. I'm the son of Dad, Don, and my mom, Lila. And I fall fourth of the 8 children, and I'm Mom and Dad's favorite. My brothers and sisters are possibly learning this for the first time now. But if they really think about it, they would ultimately agree, I think. Of course, I'm kidding. Dad never played favorites, unless you were a girl in the family. He had a soft spot for my sisters, Judy and Joe. And my mom told me a story when we were down in Arizona last week about how she was so upset with Judy because she had, this is the early 70s, mid 70s, and she'd cake this makeup on. She'd have to put the blue eyeshadow and the eyelashes and stuff, and Mom just, oh, get that off. And Judy said, no, I like it, Mom. I think it makes me look pretty. So Mom runs out to Dad, go in there and tell her to take that off. So Dad goes in there and goes, yeah, honey, Mom said that maybe you have a little bit too much makeup on. And Judy goes, yeah, but Dad, I like it, and it's really pretty. And so Dad goes, yeah, I like it too. It's pretty. And so he walks out, and Mom says, did you get her to take that off? And he goes, no, I think she looks really pretty. So that was the end of that. Another story about Jolene. One day she decided she was going to skip school at St. Francis High School. So her and her buddies get out, and she had a 1970 Camaro, bright yellow. And so they get in the car and they take off, and they're going to have a great day out on the town or whatever. And Jolene notices that she's low on gas. And so she goes, oh, I don't have any money with me. I've got to go home and get some gas. And she goes, I know, if I go home, I'm going to get caught. And so she called home, and one of Tim or Tom was home. I can't know if she doesn't remember which one, but she said, Tom or Tim, can you get my stash of money? Here's where it is. Meet me up at the church. We had a church up on the end of our driveway. And give me the money there. And of course, being good brothers, they said, no. Come and get it yourself, So Jolene, she had no choice. So she had to drive down the driveway. And of course, she's coming down. We have kind of a longer driveway. And she's coming down, and the hair on her neck stood up, and she thought, oh, what's going on? She looks in the rearview mirror. Here comes Dad. Right during the middle of their workday. So she gets out of the car, and Dad goes, hey, why aren't you at school? And Jolene says, I forgot a book. I got to go and get this book I need for class. And lie number 1. So she gets her book, gets her money, take off, and they go get gas, and then they gallivant all around. And that night at supper, Dad says to Jolene, hey, how'd the day go at school after you brought your book and stuff? And she said, oh, good, Dad. It was a good day. And he goes, funny. I went flying this afternoon, and I lost you about somewhere up in Big Lake. But I'm sure she didn't get into trouble for that. Let's see here. Another story. Dad is always in the garage, and us kids were usually outside or in the house. There's so many of us. And one day it was kind of humid and sticky out, and the storm clouds were kind of coming in. And all of a sudden Dad just goes, get to the basement. And we're going, what? So we're all run downstairs. All of us kids were down there. Of course, we could hear the wind, and we could hear the rattling of the windows and stuff. And so we're all panicking and scared. Bruce, I think, took charge and told us to get in the corner. So we get in the corner, and then he found a mattress. He says, get under the mattress. So we're all huddling under this mattress, crying our eyes out. Oh, where's Dad? Where's Dad? We don't know where Dad is. So we're panicking. So it seems like hours we're under this mattress. And finally the wind dies down, and Bruce is brave enough to kind of, okay, let's go. So he starts creeping up the steps, and we're all single file behind him. And we're expecting, he'll open the door and we're just going to see sky, no house. And we get up there, and the house is still there. And we go, well, where's Dad? And we all run out, and there he is in the garage, sweeping up. We go, Dad, Dad. And he goes, oh, you guys are still down here? That's typical Dad. He always had a way of shaking things off as if it was no big deal when you thought it was a life or death matter. And when the one that sticks out the most to me is when I was 9. I played football for the Grant Street 49ers in Anoka. And our practice field was right next door to the state mental hospital. And every once in a while, some of the residents from there would come out and watch us play. And I remember this one lady would always bring like a flag, and she would dance and things like that. And so they would come out and watch us. Well, after practice one night, everybody's leaving, and then my coach comes up and says, hey, Billy, you need a ride home? I go, no, my dad's coming on his motorcycle. He's going to pick me up. And so he goes, okay. So everybody leaves. Pretty soon on the last one there, no Dad. And it was nighttime, and the state hospital was right there. And all of a sudden, I don't know if you've ever heard those big banks of lights when they go out, they go, total darkness. I'm 9 years old, next to the state hospital, shaking in my boots. So I take off running as fast as I can. My Auntie Margie worked at Thermo King, which is right up the block, and I knew if I could make it there without getting, attacked, I might get a chance to make a phone call. So I think this is where my running career started too. I was hightailing it as fast as I could, tears flowing down my face. And I take my helmet off and I'm banging on this door. And finally somebody comes and answers. And I say, can I use the phone? They say, sure. So I called home. I can't remember who answered or what, but I said, Dad needs to come and pick me up. So about 5 minutes go by and I could hear the motorcycle coming. So I walk out. I thank the people for letting me use the phone. And I walk out, and your dad's just sitting there. I'm going, okay, no sorries, no what's going on here? So I get on the back, and I remember just squeezing him. I was so terrified and still scared, but I had my dad there. And he turns around and he looks at me and he goes, how about a Dairy Queen? So that's just classic Dad. He may have forgotten to pick me up that night, but he immediately made it up. He made the little things count, and he made all of us know that we were loved. It all started with Bruce in 1956, and look what his legacy's become. 8 kids, 28 grandkids. Is it 28 or 26? 26 grandkids. 8 great-grandkids, and all of us so close-knit. There's no one in this family I wouldn't do anything for, and I know that they all would do the same for me. It's the simple values like that that were instilled in us from the very beginning. It all came from Mom and Dad, and his love held us all together. His example taught us how to live a good life, and it is his strength that will help us now to carry on.